Hello YouTube, this is Dawn from hzscribe and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing another Bible sketch notes and we are still in the book of Kings. I typically do 3 spreads per book, and so we're in 1 Kings, and again this is about the United Kingdom and then the divided kingdom. And we know Solomon is a key player, but there's also Elijah. He's not a king, but he's a key player in this book. He also, and part of 2 Kings, before he is translated up into heaven. But I wanted to talk about the highlights of Solomon, and I think I want to do the highlights of Elijah, even though this is about the kings. I'm going to do Elijah, so I am going to put this on fast forward, and you'll see me work, and just probably do some stuff that Elijah was known for. So hold on. Alrighty, so we are back and we are done. So this is, again, we are in 1 Kings, right? We just did Solomon and now we're doing Elisha, because he is the second leading person in this book. I didn't put every single thing. You may say there's some things missing from Elijah, but that's because they're in 2 Kings. But in 1 Kings, these are the main things that we see when he arrives on the scene. And this is a mighty prophet. So we know he told it not to rain, and even later on he told it to rain. So I mean, he does, you know, very interesting stuff that you haven't seen other prophets do, as well as call for fire to come down. When the worshippers of Baal, he said, burn it up on the altar. So we see he can do some powerful things, which most people just think about getting a prophetic word, but he actually stopped rain, caused it to rain, and asked for fire to come down from heaven. He was also fed by ravens, which is different. You know, when he was when he went out to the wilderness, he was fed by ravens. And then we have the widow, and he raised her son, and this widow over here, he gave her flour and oil, He told her to get all the pots that she can get, and that's how much oil and flour she would get. And so there's some other versions of pots and pans and stuff. And then, her son, he brought him back to life. So he raised the dead. He prophesied to Ahab and Jezebel. We know that little wicked couple. And about her bones being eaten up by dogs. And this is my version of dogs. And about anything that PISS against the wall is what he said. Gonna die. So, yeah. So that's, I don't know why I ended up using this black marker, but I did one line, so I went on and had to finish it. But anyway, so that's again, I'm not an artist, but that's just my little quick way of looking at all the things, the highlights of what Elijah did in the book of 1 Kings. And again, we'll see a couple more major things that he does in the next book. But yeah, so he steps out on the scene as a mighty man of God. He does not play, and we can see that his trust and his faith is very bold. I mean bold, when you think about all the things, to raise the dead, to be fed by a bird. And if you know how birds feed, they regurgitate food into their young's mouth. But to be able to do that because he trusted the Lord. And to stop rain, to prophesy against a mighty king and queen who were wicked. All these kind of things. So, yeah. Abundance. But anyway, so I'm going to date this. And then we'll come back next week. And we'll look at the last part of 1 Kings, which I'm going to address. It's going to be the beginning of the division. Well, it is not the beginning. It is the division of the kingdom. And, I'll probably do something with that. Maybe the king's names or something like that. I don't know. And, yeah, as they would go into 2 Kings. So, anyway, thank you so much for taking the time to stop by and to check out my version of 1 Kings. And specifically the life of Elijah. And I pray that you're reading your word and however you want to internalize that word and bring it forth. But I encourage you to draw it out, because the more mediums that you use to learn it, it starts to stick with you. It really does. I enjoy reading the word. I read it through every year. I've been doing that since 2000. And I get more and more out of it every single time. I mean, I've never been disappointed. So, I encourage you to read your word. So, thanks for liking, watching, and subscribing. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.